Now, today we are going to continue our work with fractions to decimals and also decimals to percents and all that good stuff that we've been doing this week. So let's go ahead and talk about on our first portion up here how to write a fraction as a decimal. And there's a couple different ways that we can do this. Okay. The first way that I'm going to show you how to convert a fraction to a decimal is by dividing up. Okay. Divide up. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means our fraction falls over. Okay, we put our numerator inside of our division box. So this would be like 4 divided by 5. Yes, I realize that the 4 is smaller than the 5 when we're dividing, so we actually have to add a decimal, and I'll add a couple of zeros as well. I just usually add 2 zeros. We might not need 2 zeros, but we might need more than 2 zeros. Now, once I have that set up, now I divide like I normally would. The first thing I need to do is raise my decimal up, then divide. 5 goes into 4 0 times. 5 goes into 40 8 times, which actually gives me 40, and I cannot go any further. So 4/5 is going to be equal to 0.8. Okay? Now, that's one way to do it. We could also try to get this 4/5 into something over 100, because remember, if we were going to write a percent, we could very easily just write it as, if it was over 100, it would just be like 0.80, or we could convert that percent to a decimal by doing that. And what I mean by that is, like, if we had 4/5 over here, if we had 4/5 and we wanted to get that to be something over 100, well, if I multiply 5 times 20, that gives me 100. 4 times 20, that gives me 80. Okay, so I know that that's going to be 80%, which yesterday we learned how to convert a percent to a decimal by moving our decimal over 2 places. So we get 0.8, or 0.80, which is the same thing as we got right here. Okay, either one of those ways will give you the correct answer. Now, the reason why I showed you both ways is because if you look here on number 2, 40 doesn't go into 100 evenly, so we can't really convert that into something over 100 very easily. So on this one, again, we need to divide up. That's what we're going to have to do. 7 goes inside my division box. 40 goes on the outside. I'll add a decimal, and I'll add a couple of zeros there. And then I will divide like I normally would. Well, I know that raise my decimal up. 40 goes into 70 times. It goes into 71 times, which gives me a leftover of 30. I'll drop down my 0. 40 goes into 300. I don't even know how many times. Probably 7 times, which gives me, what, 280? Which gives me a leftover of, good gosh, I'll go ahead and put my leftover up here, which is going to give me a leftover of 20. So I'll add another 0 and drop it down. So then I have 200. 40 goes into 205 times. Okay, which actually gives me 200. And I'm done with that. So my answer for that one's actually going to be 0.175. Okay, that's how we convert a fraction to a decimal. We divide up. As long as we can remember that and do your division properly, you should be able to get the correct answer pretty easily. Okay? Questions on how I did any of those? No? All right, then let's take a look at number 3 and 4. Number 3 and 4 are easy. You know, again, it's the same thing that we did yesterday with the Dr. Pepper rule. Remember your Dr. Pepper rule, we're starting with our DP, and remember it goes, the D stands for decimal, the P stands for percent, and yesterday we were going from percent to decimal. Well, today we're going from decimal to percent, so we're going to move from decimal to percent, and since I'm going from the D to the P, I'm going to be moving to the right 2 places. So let's take a look at number 3. I'm simply going to find my decimal, move it over 2 places to the right. 1, 2. So I'm going to have 54.4%. That's it. That's my answer. Okay? Not much math involved with that. All right, let's take a look at number 4. Again, number 4, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find our decimal. We're going to move it over 2 places to the right. 1, 2, which is going to give me 8.1%. And that's it. It's that simple. All right, questions on that? No? All right, then let's go ahead and get to work.